Hello and welcome, Arithix here, and this week we have another round of mock planning. So last week we built a prototype for the base of the Avengers Tower, for the structure. So now I know what pieces I need to order. I can start putting a Bricklink wish list together. But this week we are going to be starting to come up with a floor plan for Daredevil's lawyer office from the show Daredevil. For those of you who have seen it, for those of you who haven't, Daredevil is a blind superhero who is a lawyer by day, and he has his own little practice in New York City, in Hell's Kitchen, I believe it is. So we'll move our mascot Aaron here out of the way, and we'll bring my phone forward so we can look at some of the pictures that I'm going to be using as a reference. So obviously this picture is very dark, doesn't really tell you much about the building itself. You can just see the lights. This is from the actual show. Just sort of like a screen grab. But if we go to the next picture, this is a picture of the building as it is in real life. So you can see it's a very red building. It does have this little sort of shop here in the corner, which in the show I believe is a hardware store. If I zoomed in on that. It's a hardware store. And then I believe this is the door that goes into the building. We've got fire escapes on the side. Red brick. This sort of the top of the building here. It's a very New York building, and it is sort of like rectangular. I probably won't build this second half. I'm mainly focusing on this bit here, this first part of the building. So I've got my periodic table of Lego colors here. So if I put that next to it, or if I put it on the side where the light is, would be smarter. So I'm thinking we go with the dark red. Is pretty much the obvious choice for the brick. You can get some masonry bricks in that color, get some normal 1x brick in that color, some other little decorative pieces just to give some of the detailing work on it. And then I'd probably go for maybe tan here for the base of the building. That sort of like different brickwork going on there. And then for the top bit, it's quite a darkish brown, like maybe a dark orange, or perhaps even a dark tan, perhaps. It's either that or maybe dark orange is a bit bright. Even tan's a bit bright, to be fair. Yeah, that one's gonna take some thinking. It could just be dark grey. I know it's more of a browny color, but maybe reddish brown, possibly. But if not, then dark grey or dark bluish grey, should I say? So that's the kind of colors we'll be working with, and then we'll have this fire escape out the front. I don't know if it needs a traffic light, although it is a corner building, so probably not a terrible idea to include one. This is one of the LDD files that I saw someone make. So, I mean, they've used pretty much the colors I was going to use, which I've just talked about. So they've got the dark red, and they're going to use dark grey at the top. I don't know about that being green. It looks more like a rusted orange color than green. So, I mean, this isn't exactly how I would do it. This is far too many masonry bricks for me. It's very flat. The windows feel a bit small, but it was just, I think it was mainly to get an idea of how to do the roof that I saved this picture. This is, in my opinion, a better one. It's still not exactly as I would like to do it. Again, too many masonry bricks for my taste. I do prefer to mix it up and have some masonry bricks and some not. I find it a bit overkill when you have too much masonry brick, even though that's what buildings are like in real life. So this is the floor plan that I found online. I believe, I don't know, I can't remember. The credit for this was a set designer who worked on the show. I don't know if this actually is from them. They could have easily been lying. I just thought it was a good representation of the offices in the show. It gives you an idea of where things are in relation to everything else. And yeah, so we've got our reception, waiting room, the two offices, conference room, and the stairwell over here. So I'm going to use this to come up with a floor plan. And then once we've got that floor plan, we know where the stairs are, then we can design the base floor and then also the top floor and figure out what's going to go in there. I did think that we could put like an Alpha Team safe house would be cool, because they don't currently have anywhere to go back to once they finish their intelligence missions. They just sort of hang around in Ninjago City or wander over the road and get beaten up by superheroes. It's pretty much their only option right now. So it'd be good if they had a place. And yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking. And I've got all my base plates here. So I've got an 8x16. I've got two 16x16s, and three 16x16s, and then a bunch of half base plates. Yes, these were once white. They obviously are not anymore, even though my lighting isn't great in here. I can assure you these are as off-white as they look. That's just many, many years of traveling around, being in different environments. It's been in smoky rooms. It's maybe spent some time in the sunlight as well. I was a lot less knowledgeable about that kind of stuff when I was a teenager. So a lot of my Lego has suffered that fate. Also, some other little quirks of things that I did when I was a teenager. I didn't know about Mills plates. I don't really think that had been like conceptualized. People probably did things similar to Mills plates, but there wasn't like an official name for it that everyone used. So I wanted all my base plates to be the same color, so I painted them. And so now I have these weird silver base plates. I could go through the effort of getting some like paint stripper, or I don't know if that's too intense for plastic Lego, but you know, just something to scrape it all off. But at the end of the day, these are going to be used for Mills plates, so you will never see the silver, except maybe on the very edge, which in some cases has already started to rub away just from a good clean, because I gave all of these a good scrub before I decided to use them. But I've got enough half base plates here that I could design 2 floors. So I want to try and design this floor, and then the base floor of the convenience store, well, the hardware store, should I say, at the bottom. And then we will order a buttload of probably tan masonry bricks, dark red masonry bricks, lots of 1x brick in those 2 colors. Figure out what door I'm going to use for the hardware store, and also for the entrance to the building itself, which is next to the hardware store. I think there might be a door on the other side as well. I mean, that's a window. Kind of hard to see in this particular image. I mean, there's a little umbrella and a patio table down here, so who knows what's going on? It's New York. So yeah, let's start putting together a some sort of floor plan for this, and see how it goes. Right, well, this is the design that I've come up with. I've tried to keep it color coded, so red for walls, yellow for windows, and these white for doors, and that tan one is a door as well. So you've got these 6 sort of rooms here, and then the stairwell, which I've pushed in to the actual building, keep it rectangular without having to add an extra room, because working with minimal space in some of these rooms. So up here we've got this office here with the 2 chairs. That's this one here. So I'll probably have this table as 5 wide rather than 6, just to give a little bit more space either on this side or that side. The details will be fairly compact. Probably put some windows here as well, because if we look in this image of the office, you can see that they've got windows between the office and the reception area, which is this room here. In the floor plan, it does have this little sort of L-shaped table, but in this image from the show, it doesn't. You can see that it's got this sort of open plan where they've knocked out half a wall, where we've left this bit open, and then you've got the arches at the top, that will frame that quite nicely. Go back to the floor plan, and we've got this room down here. This other office is this one. Again, we'll probably go 5 wide desks, and that connects to the reception and also the conference room. Which I was reminded when I saw some pictures recently looking at the offices, that this table is actually curved. Unlike this image, it has a curved edge, so I'll be able to accomplish that. Unfortunately, I can't have all 6 chairs just because this door has to open here, and that's 4 studs of clearance, which is pretty much exactly how much it needs. Same with this one, 4 studs of clearance. So in order for these doors to open, that space has to remain. And then there's also another door which goes in directly into the stairwell, because in this image there is a door like that. This will be your waiting room, which is there. It does have chairs in here, but in this image you can see it's just a table in the corner, which I'll be able to fit there. and maybe another couple other details in there. In the floor plan, it's listed this as a kitchenette, which is connected to something else, but I'll have to re-watch the show and remind myself what that room is before I decide exactly what it's going to be. But yeah, that's about it. You've got the stairwell here, which goes up. There's not a lot of clearance on this side to walk around. It's about 3 studs, even if you sort of cut off the stairs a little bit. So it will be a narrow stairway, but it does the job. And then there'll be stairs that go down here to the base floor, because this is the second floor, or the first floor if you call the base floor the ground floor, like we do here in the UK. So yeah, that's the second floor with the actual offices themselves. And then we move over to this. Now it's a little bit harder to see because I use white on white, but I have a lot of this sort of off-whitey white 1x brick. So I use that. The blue represents windows or doors, mostly doors. Say there'll be a door here, sort of loading. If I go back to one of the images of the actual building, so we can see there's a hardware store in the corner and then a door. So this is your hardware store. So you have a door here and the big window, and then the other big window on this side. That is your hardware store area in here. So we'll come up with design for hardware store. There's plenty of like little power tool things that we can have on shelves, and then just like boxes of things, and we'll make it really really nice and detailed. And then this would be the stock room for said hardware store. And then you've got the door on the left here, which I think is what leads into the stairwell. Again, it's been a long time since I watched the show, so I can't quite remember. But so I've got this little sort of entrance room here, and then that will go into the stairwell, which goes up here. That's where it will end up. So what am I going to do with the rest of the space? Well, I kind of want to have the Alpha team, which I've ordered some more figures of, because they're quite important to the story that's happening within the city. One of the only factions that are actively working against Bob. So I wanted to give them like a little safe house. Like, they are underground. Bob is aware of them and is hunting them, so they're not. They have to be very sneaky. So they're going to have this safe house here in the back, and then they've got this extra little room, which I might have as like an equipment room, or maybe like an armory or something, or maybe even just a bathroom, just like a bathroom that's also crammed full of technology, weapons and gadgets. And then this would be the main space. You'd have like maybe a huge computer monitor set up, a little table, maybe with a map on it and some other little details. So that's what I'm thinking for that. So this building has 2 more floors. So I've only got sort of the base floor, and this would be either the second or the third floor. So I've got 2 more floors to work with in this building. So I'm trying to think of what I can do. If you guys have any ideas, please feel free to comment. I was thinking maybe Jessica Jones' Elias Investigations, which is sort of in the show. It's her apartment and her office. So we could pop that in there. If not, then maybe someone else's apartment. Any Lego characters or pop culture characters that we could maybe fit in here. Yeah, any ideas at all, please let me know. I will keep thinking myself, but yeah, 2 more floors to fill in this space, but I'm pretty happy with what we've got here. So I'm actually going to move these off my workstation for now, and we'll put them over here in the city, just so they can take up some space. Move that to the edge of the table. We can bring this one's a bit more not as well connected, so I'll pop them there. So they're in the city, taking up space, and yeah, we're ready for the next building project, whatever that might be. I got some thinking to do on what I'm going to develop next, but thank you very much for coming. Here's the City in Darkness. I will be getting lights very soon, I promise. Please keep an eye out for a video on that, because it will be coming in the next couple of weeks. Just depends on finances mostly, but we'll see how we go. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's just a little bit of planning, not quite as exciting as when we actually start building things. But if you've stuck around this long, thank you very much. I am hoping to have quite an exciting video next week, so please stay tuned for that. Don't forget to give this video a like if you've enjoyed this, and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all of my projects that I'm working on. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and stay cool, keep building. I'll see you next time.